is the water quality getting better or worse over time? And this is different because we're not talking about lakes, so it's really, you can focus on individual tributaries. You can see all the rivers that go into this. And so are some of the tributaries causing more problem than others? These are the types of questions we were looking at. But what I wanted to highlight here was dry weather versus wet weather. Because we're going to, instead of phosphorus now, we're going to look at bacteria. And try to see how to visualize the effect of wet weather on bacteria concentrations. So this is our data. This is 4 sites. These are not in the lake. These are actually in tributaries. So this is bacteria data in the tributaries. Just looking at this, you can't really tell anything. So one of the things we did was to categorize each of these points by dry weather or wet weather. So the blue points are all wet weather data, and the green points are all dry weather data. Now you can kind of start to see, tend to be more blue points up high, more green points down below. Or the green points tend to have lower concentrations, and the blue points have higher concentrations. So that's what you expect. You usually expect to see higher concentrations during wet weather because for bacteria, it's running off all the stuff that's accumulated on the surface runs off into the river during storm events, so the concentrations increase. Of rainfall over the past 24 hours. So ignore the colors a little bit. Basically what we did is we looked at on these low S curves, these smoothing curves. As soon as the concentrations kind of move to the right of this vertical line, those curves start to increase. Kind of in general, it was kind of a subjective choice of what the threshold was, but this is how we assigned wet weather versus dry weather. Because when there's very little precipitation, it doesn't really generate very much runoff. So it doesn't actually increase the concentrations that much. So a lot of these are flat. If you look at this one and this one, those are flat until you reach kind of a threshold amount of precipitation, and then they increase like this. So this is a way of looking at the relationship between the bacteria and the amount of rainfall. And the other thing about this is that the columns are different sites. The rows, this is all the data, but then I split it out into 2 different seasons. Because going back this in the northeast to what I was saying about water quality problems in the east, it's really only a concern during May through October because that's considered the recreational season. So all the water quality standards May to October. particles will fall out of the air. Yeah, the other big problem is combined sewer overflows in this area. You guys heard what those are? Yeah. Okay, so combined sewer overflows